Hello, hello, hello. Hi everyone, it's Camille with MyMommyStyle, and I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. We are going to be talking about summer and chore charts, because I don't know about you, but I love summer, but it's very shortly that I start to think I need a little bit of structure to our day before my kids start going a little bit batty. I think they come from their school classrooms and knowing that they had a certain schedule, and I love being spontaneous and having fun summer days, but then there are also days that you kind of need a little something extra. So for those of you tuning in, please tell me where you're watching from. I come live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. On Tuesday nights, I come live at 9 p.m. with Shane to do cooking. But on Thursday nights, I do lifestyle, family, stuff like that. So I am actually a mother of 4. I have 3 boys and a girl, and my baby just turned 1 last week. So I have 4 kids at home every day, and it's crazy, but it's also awesome. So I want to hear about you. How many kids do you have? Where are you tuning in from? I'd love to hear all about you, and if summer has started where you are. We've been in summer now for almost a week, and so things are going good. We've made it to the splash pad, we've started swimming lessons, and it's been nice to just kind of hang out. So for tonight, for those of you who are just tuning in, I am going to be sharing summer chore chart ideas and also the new Nucleus Intercom system that you can use in your home. And I love it. I am obsessed with it. I think that it is so much better than yelling at your kids to come to dinner or trying to find where they are or just staying connected as a family. It's actually helped me quite a bit. So I'm doing this video in sponsorship with Nucleus, and they are all about keeping family connected both inside your home and outside your home so that you can always be together. So diving into this, tell me where you're from, where are you watching from? My dog is going crazy right now because dinner is still out on the table, and we had shredded pork sandwiches tonight, so he's right by me, bugging me, trying to get me to go get him some food. Anyway, so, okay, the first thing that I'm going to show you is an idea that I just started in the last couple of months. And let me just say, as a mother, I don't know if this is how it is for you, but I tend to go through different chore charts every, I would say, 6 months. It seems like after 6 months or so, your kids start to get sick of it, or maybe as a mom you get sick of it and you have to mix things up or keep things interesting. So I'm going to show you a few different options that I've done as a mom, and you can just take this and go with what works for you. But the first one I'm going to show you is the Pom Pom System. So everything that I bought for the Pom Pom System, I bought from the dollar store, although this pretty jar I found at the Goodwill. It's just a really old, beautiful dish, and I like them. So this sits on my kitchen counter, and what's inside of it are colorful pom-poms from the dollar store. So this system, I feel like, is particularly good for younger children because this does equal to money in my house, but it isn't actually money. And I think that that keeps things interesting because they actually have their own bank accounts that this works into, but the pom-poms are so much easier. And then also my younger children who want to earn prizes or things, they can use these pom-poms that work like money, but they work towards something that they want to earn. Okay, so these pom-poms, you can just get them from the dollar store. And then I bought, now you can use glass jars, but in my house I have young children, so I bought these small tumbler toothbrush holders that are plastic, so in case they get dropped or they fall or something horrible happens, there's not glass everywhere. So what's really cool about these tumblers is that they have these holes in them, so when my kids earn pom-poms for doing chores or cleaning their room or just good behavior in general, if I ask them to do something and they do it right away, or they are kind to their sister or brother, I say, "You're doing so great, you just earned a pom-pom." And so I try to look for positive ways to reinforce, but they can also earn more pom-poms if they want to go above and beyond that day. If they want to do extra chores or they're working towards something that's specific, I will say, okay, well, you can earn, say for example, my son, he just earned hermit crabs. He wanted a pet really, really bad, and he wanted a lizard to start out with, which I was fine with, but he wanted this like gigantic chameleon that had to have a humidifier and a mister, and it was like this huge thing. And we researched the pet, and we said, you know, if you have a pet, this is a big commitment. And after researching it and seeing what you had to feed it every day, we settled on a hermit crab, which, by the way, is an awesome pet for an 8-9-year-old boy. That's how old he is. So he was saving up his pom-poms for a hermit crab. So every time that they do something special around the house or good behavior, they would get to earn a pom, and they could just pop it right into those little holes that come in the tumbler, which is a super fun way that they can do it for themselves. So for my 3-year-old son, earning the pom-poms alone is awesome to him. He doesn't even need like above and beyond reinforcement other than that. But for my older kids, once they get to the top of the pom-pom tower or the cup, whatever you want to call it, we have made this worth $5. So on the very first day that I introduced this, they were earning it really fast, and I'm like, maybe it should just be worth $2.50. But then it kind of died down a little bit with how vigorously they were earning their palms. So $5 is what they earned. So my daughter just filled up her pom-pom, and she wanted to earn a Barbie. So that's what she earned. But that's the Pom Pom system. I just keep this right on my kitchen counter, and each of the kids have their own colored tumbler, and if it falls over, it's fine because it won't break. So this is an awesome system for little kids, and we've really liked that Pom Pom system. So that's one. And you may have done something similar to this. If any of you have ideas that you think are great, please chime in. I'd love to hear what those are. But that's been a really fun system for us. And I like that this is a pretty jar, because then it doesn't look horrible on my kitchen counter. It still looks pretty, but it's obviously fun for kids. So that's the Pom Pom system. Okay, so the next one, this is something that I'm trying very recently. So if you caught my Facebook Live last week, I was sharing summer bucket list items that you can do with your kids, and you can still find that on the blog. But I found these dry erase boards from the dollar store, and with my kids I just went through and we made ideas of things that we wanted to do through the summer. And it's dry erase, so you can change it how you want to. Sorry, there's a reflection on the screen. But this is a dry erase board that is our summer bucket list. And I love making summer bucket lists with my kids. You can go to a blog post that's the 50 ideas for this. I didn't link it in the description, but I'll make sure to do that. So with this dry erase board, there was a second board that came with it. This was also from the dollar store. And you guys are gonna laugh because it's super basic, but I was talking to a mom friend of mine, and I said, what do you do for summer chores? Like, what works for you? And her kids are issues. Just refresh, it should pop back in. Hold on one second. Let me check and see what our connection, let me know if you can see the connection okay. Are you guys seeing this okay? I think we had a connection bump for a minute. Okay, so this is zoning. So if you do zoning with your kids, this is if you want them to focus on a specific zone within your home for their chores. So she said for her kids that are older, one child is in charge of vacuuming the entire summer. One child is in charge of dishes the entire summer. One child is in charge of picking up the entire summer. And I thought, oh, I hadn't really thought about simplifying it that much, but I decided to try that with my kids. And so far it's going okay. We're only a week in, but right now I have one of my children wiping down all the bathrooms. Job is to poop every day, because that's what he does consistently every day, and he poops a lot. My kids thought that wasn't very fair, but he is only one. He just turned one. And then everyone is in charge of their room, picking up their room, and then also helping to pick up the family room and the basement. And I feel like day to day those can be messier than other days, so if we all pitch in together, that seems to work pretty well if we do it as a team. So that is an idea that you can do, just to do zoning for your family. And let me know if you're having connection, if you can see my connection okay. My phone was acting like it was maybe having an issue. So if you can see me, please give me some likes to let me know that it's working for you. Okay. Now, the other idea that I have, and it's in the other room, but it's this monster. I'm gonna go grab it if you'll just wait with me. I forgot to grab it. So 1 second. I'm still here. Okay. Sorry, this is huge because it goes on my command wall, and we designed this. It's a little more involved. This is especially good if you have older children. So let me show you. This is our family system, and it's really big because it hangs on our wall. But I feel like this works really well during the school year because it talks about homework and practicing and reading time. And I'm going to tip the camera a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. Okay. Sorry, this is a really bad angle. I'm going to unplug it just for a second. Okay. Hi. Okay, so here is the family system, and now it's flipped on you. I am so sorry. Okay, so first up is responsibilities and routine, bedrooms, homework, practice time, and then we have tickets and progress and service, and it's way, way, way more involved. And I found that this works really well during the school year because there's so much more going on. I'm going to get you set back up again. Sorry about that. But I can share more of that a little bit later. But the thing about that system is that it is way more involved, and I feel like during the summer you don't need that much. Although I will say that with that family system, we also do a weekly family store where we check in with our kids. And we haven't done this one for a while, like I said, because I tend to switch my systems every 4 to 6 months just to mix it up for me and for the kids. But during that weekly store, we will have a prize bucket where they can turn in their pom-poms or the tickets that they earn through this system to earn prizes as kids. So they get to, it's like they're shopping, and some of these things, they'll all be different prize points of what they can earn, but it makes it so that they get to choose what they want, and what they're earning changes week to week. And sometimes it's just a treat, like they could just earn treats if they want to, or they can earn something a little bigger. If it's a Lego set like this, I will break it up so that they're earning like one Lego person or one like actual figure. So they can either choose to earn it bit by bit or all at once. So that one is a little bit more involved. But one way that I've loved to monitor my kids with their cleaning is actually through the new Nucleus monitoring system. And so this is the Nucleus, and it is an intercom system for your home. And I'm going to, let's see, you can't really see the screen because it's, hold on. So it's a touch screen, and the way that the Nucleus works is it works as an intercom in your home to work from one room to another, or you can actually connect to your cell phones. So I can connect from my cell phone up in my bedroom to the basement through the Nucleus and tell the kids that it's time to get ready to go to school, or it's time for them to leave the house, or it's time for dinner, and we're not yelling from one room to the other. And it has been a lifesaver. So what's awesome about this is that you can connect units like this within your own home that are from room to room, but you could also give one to grandma or to a parent that you want to have connection to at any time. And you can set it so that it auto answers, or so that you can answer it yourself, depending on the privacy settings of who this unit is for. So it can actually be in a nursery, or it could be in a playroom, or it could be in a basement, which this unit, I have one in my kitchen and I have one in my basement. and when the kids we're having our cleaning time, I can actually check on the system and plug in with them and say, how's it going? And actually see what they're doing as they're doing their chores. And I hope I didn't just unplug it, because it is not turned on. I wonder if I unplugged it and I moved. I didn't. Okay, so one thing that's really cool about this Nucleus is that you can use it as a baby monitor if you want to. And I am giving away a Nucleus system on my blog. So if you follow the link, you can actually link to the Nucleus and be able to enter to win one for yourself. So with the Nucleus system, you can actually monitor your kids, whether they're playing with friends and you want to check and see how they're doing. This can be with younger kids to see if they're sharing and playing and being nice, or it can be with older kids, like if you have teenagers in the basement and you're not sure what they're up to, and that can be an issue sometimes, right? So for those of you that are watching, I'm curious, do you have teenagers or do you have little kids, and how would you use the Nucleus? Because I am struggling with, oh, there we go. Okay, so this is what the screen looks like, and as you can see, we have two different systems that are set up right now, and I'm actually going to call my husband that's in the basement right now. So I'm just going to touch the basement, and I'm going to do video. Okay, so he's going to answer. Oh, there he is. He saw me.
Am I on TV?
You're on TV.
Awesome.
So what have you liked about the Nucleus?
A lot of things. I really love the app. Being able to, sometimes Camille doesn't always answer her phone. Sorry, honey. But if she's not answering her phone, I can just call the kitchen or call the basement and get a hold of somebody if I need to call home. I really like the intercom so that we can talk to our kids between floors, because we have 3 floors on our house, so sometimes we end up yelling between floors, and this has really helped us to cut down on that. Excuse me.
So I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's saying that he likes the Nucleus app because it actually connects to your phone. So if you have 1 or 2 systems, you can actually connect to it through your phone, whether you're at home or whether you're outside the home. So my husband, the kids can actually call him, which was an issue the first day that we had it, because my 3-year-old was so excited that he could call his dad anytime. So he was calling him a lot, but then that died down a little bit, and now he knows that he can connect to him if he needs to, but it also makes it so we're not yelling at each other from one spot to the bottom floor. Like we can actually hear each other, and it's so great. Another thing, I'm going to tell a story about this. Paul, are you seeing the connection okay? Will you check? I want you to check the connection when you get a second. Okay, say bye to, bye to Paul. Okay, so one thing that happened a week ago, my daughter was doing kindergarten testing, and she hadn't been going to the school for a few days during that week, and my son, who typically walks home with her, was not walking home with her, and I told him, you know, you don't need to walk home with your sister because she's doing kindergarten testing. Well, Friday rolled around, and I forgot to tell him that my daughter was going to be there that day, and I decided to surprise my kids and walk to the school to walk home with them. And I found my daughter. She came out right away, but I couldn't find my son. And I was outside the school with my dog and the baby and the others. I had 3 kids with me, and it was just a mess, and I needed help. And I had the school page him, and no one could find him. And I was like, oh my gosh, I walked here, so I was more than a mile away from the school, and I wasn't sure where he was. So I called a friend, and I said, hey, did my son come home with you? And she said that he hadn't, and then I was really worried. And she said, but I am close to your house. I'll just run over and see if he's there really quick. They knocked on the door. He wasn't there. And luckily, my son's friend knew the code to our house, which I didn't know. But he said, I'll go in and check. So sure enough, he was in the basement, but I didn't know. And I was so relieved to know that he was actually safe. And But then after I got off the phone and I realized, well, gosh, well, why didn't he show up? So it was at that moment that I realized I have the Nucleus and I can check in with him without him having a cell phone, because my kids are young enough that they don't have or need cell phones. So I called my son. I was at the school, which was over a mile away, and I called him, and I was able to talk to him face to face because he was in my basement. I said, what happened? Why weren't you at the school? And he said, I just went ahead and walked home because I thought Jane wasn't at school today. And I thought, oh, that was my fault. I didn't realize that I forgot to tell him that she didn't have testing that day. So I was able to check in with him from my cell phone and see that he was home safe. And that was such an added benefit to having the Nucleus in our home, because I could connect and check to make sure that he was safe, and he was able to reach out to me without having a cell phone. Because my kids are at the ages where they don't need cell phones. I don't want them to have cell phones yet, but it's an added line of security and knowing that I can contact them without them having to have a cell phone. So I was able to walk all the way home from the school and know that he was safe, and I wasn't mad at him because it was my fault that I forgot to tell him that his sister was at school that day and that they actually should have walked home together. So that was a big help for us as a family and a huge benefit to having the Nucleus in our home. So
you were on night vision mode.
Oh, I was on night vision? Whoops. Okay, so something that's cool about the Nucleus that I just have learned is Alexis. If you're connected with Alexis, is that Alexa, there you go. Obviously I don't use it a lot. Alexa, through the Nucleus system, you can order pizza, you can call an Uber to come pick you up, you can have it play music for you as you're cooking in the kitchen, or you can check the weather. Anything that Alexa can do, you can do through your Nucleus system that is through your system in your family home. So that's really cool. And if you have a family member that is older that might need some help. So when I was a kid, I had a grandmother that has Alzheimer's, and I spent quite a bit of time sleeping over at her house when I was in junior high and high school to keep an eye on her, because she was okay to be on her own, but not really at night. She was starting to do things where she would leave a burner on, or try to drive her car when she wasn't in a state to be able to do that. So I spent a lot of time with her as I was growing up. And the Nucleus, whether you have grandparents or family that you want to stay connected with and make sure they're healthy and okay, just to be close to grandchildren or anything like that, the Nucleus is a great way to do that, because you can actually connect in the same system where your kids can call them, or you can call them and check in and see how they're doing. So if you're just checking in now, we are doing a giveaway for the Nucleus Intercom home system that you can set up throughout your home. It actually connects to your phone, and you can also just use it to let the kids know that it's time for dinner. And that's been a huge thing for us, because we live in a 3-story home, and so a lot of times in the morning when I'm just getting up and the kids have already rushed downstairs to watch television for the day or whatever before school, I can chime in and say, you have 5 minutes before we need to be in the car, and I can still be getting the baby in the car or feeding the baby or whatever it is that I'm doing, and let them know that that's happening too. So, does anyone have any questions? Because we are doing a giveaway for the Nucleus. You can win your own system. All you need to do is go to the link that is in this blog post below in the description section, and there is a rafflecopter giveaway at the very bottom of the post. So you want to scroll all the way through and click through that so that you can see your way to enter. And we have been so impressed with this product. And if you missed my summer chore ideas, you can share this video to your wall, into your timeline, and check back with those ideas. So it'll be shared to your timeline so you can have it for later. And we love extra engagement to help with this giveaway. We really appreciate that. And if you want to check in with our lives, we're actually live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So for those of you who are watching, I would love to know if you have any questions about summer chore charts, about the Nucleus, or just say hi, because it's been like radio silent. So I want to hear who is with us. Anyone? Anyone? And for those of you just tuning in, I also do cooking shows with my friend Shane Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. where I share family-friendly cooking as well as authentic cooking that my friend Shane learns. He's like teaching me all the time about how to cook better because I like to cook, but he knows so many dishes that I do not know. So anyway, that is the summer ideas for chore charts. We talked about the pom-poms, the summer store, the bucket list with the zoning. And one more thing that I almost forgot to mention, but I will show it to you really quick because it's just right here in my office, is one last idea. Okay, so this is one other idea that is a system that I love. And sorry that I'm like up and down, but I just remembered this one too. So clipboards are my best friend. When your kids are back in school and they have a million papers, I have a clipboard for each of my kids that they clip their important papers to. So if it is on the clipboard, I know that I have to look at it and sign it or put it in my schedule or whatever it is. But I also use the clipboard for chores. So if there's a checklist that they have, sometimes I'll do a checklist on a clipboard per room in a house. So you can have like the bathroom clipboard that just stays in the bathroom, or you can have the clipboard for the kitchen or the playroom or their bedroom or whatever it is, so that there's a checklist. And I find that the kids do a lot better if they know they have a checklist of what to do. I know I do better with a checklist. So if there's even an order of things of how you want things done in the bathroom, you could have a checklist to make sure that they are not using the same rag that they wash the toilet with to wash the counters, that they do the counters first and then the toilet, or however you want to do it. But this will actually help you with keeping that all straight. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can have a clipboard with a dry erase that they can mark off and check, and then you switch those clipboards between the kids as their jobs change week to week. Or you can have a clipboard per the room and just have that in the room. It stays in the room, and when it's their turn to have that job, they do that. But in general, I have a clipboard for each of the family members in my family. My husband even has one. So as I sort through the family mail, I will put all of the important bills or things that he needs to see on his clipboard, and it reduces the paper mess a ton. So you can have a clipboard and even color code it if you want to, on top or on the side, or get different colored clipboards if you want to. But I find that that cuts down on paper mess a lot. And it can also help with cleaning. I have some smaller ones that are about half this size that I use for cleaning charts that have a dry erase so that they can check mark it as they go. And if you have young kids, you can actually print a picture, like, so if they're getting ready in the morning and it has like maybe a picture of a shirt and pants and shoes, so that they know what they need to do, or a bed, like make your bed, brush your teeth, and it's all on the clipboard. It kind of helps little ones if they can see a visual representation of what you want them to do day to day. So that's it. Go to the blog to enter to win the Nucleus. I promise you will love it. It has already saved me and made me feel a lot more connected to my kids as far as safety if I'm away from the home, because I can call and it has auto answer, so I can check my kitchen, I can check my basement, I can see what's going on if I'm outside the home and I need to check in with my kids. So if there's a babysitter and sometimes they don't have a cell phone, or if your kid gets home from school maybe 20 minutes before you can get there, or whatever it is, it's an added layer of security to stay connected to your family inside and outside the home. So thank you so much for tuning in. I am Camille from MyMommyStyle, and I hope you check in with us next week, because we're going to be talking about cleaning hacks to save you time and sanity, because we all need that. So check in with me next week. That's when this giveaway ends. So this giveaway is going to be happening for a week for you to get your own Nucleus system. Whoa, there we go. And then you can have your own. So they're awesome. And I will check in with you later.